Okay, it's Gray. As I have previously promised to make a proper video on how to rig up a successful NPC or starter model, which I will do so by creating a character, an enemy that I need for my game. Also seen on the channel. You should probably check that out. It would be very nice if you tried it. So we're going to start with creating our model, first of all. So for this, I need to build a beetle, a scarab beetle. So I'm going to quickly do that now. Now you could make whatever your own model is, anything, as long as it just follows a certain path of just overall making sure it doesn't look stupid, I guess. Quickly move this in here. This will need to be orange. Right there. Okay. Just gotta get a little bit of a beetle going. And then we're going to take this piece again. This will be the upper torso of the beetle. Now, one of the more useful things that you can use for rigs like these, if you didn't want to put a part in the middle, is you could use the negate tool, which I will quickly explain the negate tool. So imagine you have this piece here, and then you have this piece here. If you were to click negate on this one, so it's a hollow object, and then here, and union, then you get a nice cutout. And that just gives you more room to work with. I, however, will not. I will just be making sure that my wings overscale. And the midway point. And yet also go over a bit. Just to make sure it's nice looking. 0.1 stud is normally what I have my stuff set to, as it just overall works better for designing stuff like this. And then I'm just going to repeat this over here. I'm going to make I'm going to make this one slightly thinner. Actually, I will not. They will be fine. I just gotta pull up the gap here. There we go. And then I'm going to quickly adjust to create a more rounded out body, as well as come up a bit. To better define the actual enemy. You could do the same for the side of here, but I don't see a point to. I'm just going to have to make sure these are both riggable for wings, which means I'm actually probably going to change this thing to the same orange color as seen here. Now if the wings were to move, you would see the orange, and it would look nice. This piece here we are just going to duplicate for, I guess, what I would explain as a bit of just an easier time on Roblox Studio is to learn your hotkeys. They will help you in the end. That is something I can say for sure. I know they've helped me. Anyways, head needs to be about this size. This needs to come in 3. That's one too many. Okay, you got the overall body. I'm actually going to do this ahead of time. I'm going to take this piece and name it human root part. And then I'm going to quickly set it to 1 of transparency. Let me scale his head down just 1 or 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the negate tool on his head as to sort of simulate closed off eyes, whilst also still being on the front of his head, more or less.
Please. Go.
Okay, now we have both of them. One thing that is better to test is how it unions. Like, that's a good union. That is not a good union. So what you to do instead for this piece is you would turn it to the color, negate it, union, and then you would, I guess another way of doing it would just be to take this piece all the same, and then negate, and then, darn it, one trouble, man, one trouble. Why does this always happen? Okay. Okay. Union. And there you go. And then you just re-union that, then you got a full head. Now I'm just going to scale this down a bit, pull this down here. I'm going to go up 1 or 2. I'm going to pull it back a bit. And then you have the basic body for a scarab. Quickly union them. Get a union here. Get a union. Actually, I'm gonna leave that one. Yeah. That'll be sort of like a mid-torso. Okay. Now what you'd want to do would be to start working on any limbs. A lot of the things I build, I like to start with the limbs themselves, as they turn out easier. One of the easier things to do is to actually start it out in a T-pose, as to make it just easier to see what you're doing. Okay, turn this black. Add that there. Remove this one because I accidentally put it on the wrong side. And there you go. You have your front and upper arm and your back arm. I'm going to quickly use a plugin to reflect that on this side and move them in. Make sure they're even. Yep, like that. Now both of these can be selected to be mirrored here. Then I'm going to go back to my move tool. Move them back to about here and scale them up slightly. Okay, that should be about good. Now I'm going to take this piece, saying this one is the last piece needed, set this here, scale it out, duplicate, scale, and tighten it to about there. Going to quickly union them. Take another piece and just scale this out. Only difference with this one is I'm going to give it a just that extra length required for a scarab beetle like this. Take back our reflect tool. Sure that everything's even. It is. We're all good. Okay. I guess the only other thing I could do for a union it is directly in front of the eyes right here and back one. I can quickly, well, of course I have to move it down there, and I can scale this up. That's not at all right. Is this connected to something? Shouldn't be. It should be perfectly scalable. Oh well, that's fine for now. Okay, there's a union. That is all good. Wait. Okay. Good. You always got to double check on your model. I'm going to quickly group it. Okay. I'm going to insert a humanoid. And then I'm going to go through each and every single piece and name them. Such as this could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be 5. Or we could do back leg 1. Or I guess it would be back left leg 1. Upper torso. Front left leg 2. Front right leg 2. And you do so on with all the rest of them. So this would be back right leg 1. You can just name this one such as leg or left leg, and I'm just gonna name this one too. I normally give the middle parts normal names as it's just easier to work with them. This one will be the... Of course, you always gotta name it something dumb. That will be the head. This will be the back right leg 2. This is the waist. Back left leg. Leg 2. Front right leg 1. Front left leg 1. We'll do wing left. Or I guess I would be better if I did left wing. Right leg 1. Lower torso, which is this part right here. This is the neck binding right there. You always gotta have something like that for stuff like rigging. You need all the possible rig elements. You know, it just works better. Right wing, as well as left leg 1. Okay, now you have a full overall, you have a full model. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the model. I'm going to first of all name it Scarab. You're going to scroll down, you're going to find your primary part here. You're going to want to put this on the human root part, because that'll be how the hitbox, if you're building an enemy or an NPC, will look like. So right now, I'm going to quickly scale this to be the size of the beetle. A little extra for hitting it, as well as above it. And it needs to touch the, well, it needs to be touching the ground where the beetle would be, right there. Okay, now that that's all set up. Okay, now we're gonna rig it. How you rig a model, you can either use the custom character creator, but it's a bit buggy. So try to get the rig editor. Its icon would look like about this. In the plugins, I will probably link it. You're gonna click on this. Continue. The first thing that you're gonna want to do is you're going to want to make sure you link the human root part to the one of the torso pieces, because that's going to make it maneuverable for animating, as well as the hitbox accurate. Okay, now we can go from the lower torso, which is this piece down here. We're going to quickly link this to the left wing, the right wing, the back right leg 1, which back left leg 1, back right leg 1. No, that's not right. And if you get something, if you accidentally do something like that, you can always delete it, as so. Did I completely just link the right wing to I did. Now we're gonna create joints and not make a dumb mistake. Okay, lower torso, back, right leg 1. Okay, lower torso, back left leg 1. Back left leg 1 will link to back left leg 2, which is, I'm blind, sorry. So back left leg to back left leg 2. Did I not name it right? Oh, back left leg 2. There we go. Sorry about that. Back right leg. Why do I have 2 back right legs? I'm an idiot. Back right leg 1 to back right leg 2. Okay. Since the other legs are also connected to the lower torso as so, we're also going to quickly connect the lower torso to right leg 1, right leg 2. Or left leg 2, or left leg 1 and right leg 2. To right leg 1. Right leg 1 will connect to right leg 2, left leg 1 will connect to left leg 2. As so. Your lower torso will then connect to your waist. Your waist will connect to the torso, the upper torso to the neck, and the neck to the head. Like that. You're going to quickly, depending on where your legs are, or I guess in this situation it could be arms, you're going to take upper torso, front right leg 1, upper torso, front left leg 1, front left leg 1 to front left leg 2, front right leg 1 to front right leg 2. And then you have a fully working rig. Now all you have to do is properly edit the joints. So this is meant to be there. This can go. When you have closed off joints like this, you can do something like this. Then you have your head all linked together. For leg joints, something like this, you're going to want to lower it, pull it in depending on where it's linked at. Most joints go in from the starting location, so if this is the starting location leading to the torso, you're going to want to pull these inward to fit the joint. Sometimes it's the opposite. It depends on where you're going from. So like from the head to the torso, you're going to be pulling back. That's in the perfect spot. This is what's connected to nothing. Okay, we're going to quickly pull this back to the waist and down, fit that. Okay, the others are fine. I'm gonna pull the leg one back a bit. There we go. Sometimes you want to pull them back more. If they're better lined up, you can. And I'm going to link the leg joints. Okay, that's all good. Now to make sure the wings turn in and pivot at the right area, so I'm going to pull them up and I'm going to pull them to the front. Out. There. And I will do the same for this piece. There. Okay. That should be everything. I need to leave that where it is. That will be everything. I'm going to commit the changes. You always got to remember that you save them. And then the way you can test this is, say you pull it into an animator. Always make sure that the mesh is on the ground where you have the bottom of your hitbox. That way it's more easily animated. So let's quickly test the wings. They turn at the right point. They turn at the right point. Okay. See, as long as they're linked like that, you got proper turning joints. Let me quickly turn the torso. That's good. This actual piece here should turn the whole beetle. Yep. The head is good. The neck is good. That is everything that must be tested. And now you have yourself a working model. And as I said, imagine if you wanted to make this a working player model, you could change this thing. First of all, we're going to give it about hip height of, I think it's 0.3. no, 0.4. Wrong, actually, 0.5. Then we're going to change the rig type to R15. We're going to name this actual model to a starter character. So, this might not work as there's many legs. Make sure there is no starter player in here. No server storage. Good. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll pull the starter character into the actual starter player. And then if I were to play the game, it should start me as a scarab. It does. He's walking sideways. That is fine. Otherwise, you have now a working rig. The one thing I didn't do here is I did not rotate. Here, I'll take him out. I didn't rotate the actual human root part, which is seen here. So what I can do is I can quickly find the part face for the front. See, if it's on the side, that means it's going to walk sideways. I will quickly rotate it. There you go. Otherwise, you have a perfectly working model. This was Gray. I recommend that you subscribe, like, whatever, doesn't really matter. And try our new game, as eventually you will be able to see this scarab in there. If you find this any way helpful, like the video, I guess. And whenever I feel like doing another tutorial, I will do one. Gone.